Hello, we're here. I finished Marvel Zombies at like fucking 1 a.m. yesterday because I was like, well, I have to finish this, otherwise I'm never gonna record this video. So here we are, the next day. I've literally had time to sleep on it. Overall thoughts, I think it was alright. I don't think it was terrible. I don't think it was that memorable either, to be honest. I don't know, something about it. I think it's the whole concept of it, you know, like the foundation of Scarlet Witch being like the queen of the dead or whatever. Didn't really captivate me. Should I go spoilers? No, okay. I'll go non-spoilers first. Actually, I don't know if that's what I just said was a spoiler. No, I don't think so. It was in trailers and shit, right? By the way, I didn't see the trailer, so everything was completely new to me. I think the characters that they decided to focus on, I think it was alright. I think it's good to give the multiverse characters, the multiverse saga characters time to shine because, you know, we haven't seen them shine. They've just been introducing characters rather than developing characters, so yeah, I guess it's better than nothing. The deaths in this show, yes, I do know that was originally a movie, but they split it up into parts because of the Spider-Man's rights issue, because they can't make a movie with Spider-Man in it for Sony or whatever. Yeah, the deaths in here, none of them really hit me. I don't know if it's just because I just wasn't invested, but I don't know, it was like whatever to me, you know? I didn't really care for the overarching plot of this whole season. And the fact that it changes, like, the objective changes in like the very last episode, I was like, what's going on? In terms of the animation, I thought it was okay. Again, I'm not really a huge fan of this animation style. It's a bit like janky sometimes. You know, credit where credit is due. If you pause on any frame, it looks great. I'm just simply talking about like the movements. It's just super like you know, it's not like real people, which I know there's a lot to expect, but also, speaking of the multiverse characters, like to focus on them, I really like the characters they decide to showcase in this show. I hate calling it a show because it's not really a show, but I'll get more into spoilers, but overall, is it worth watching? If you're not interested in this at all, I would say no. There's really no point in watching if you're not interested in it. Otherwise, if you like zombie stuff, then sure. Is there anything else I'm forgetting to mention? The ending. I guess this might be controversial, but I actually like that ending. Alright, spoilers. So episode 1, I have my notes here. Listen, I don't remember anything from the What If episode, I'm gonna be honest. Like, did it show how this virus started? No idea, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Dude, Captain Marvel vs. Icarus, that was like unexpected. I don't know how Captain Marvel would have been infected, but it's whatever. But that was like a random pull. I was like, oh shit, Eternals. They're actually acknowledging that the Eternals are alive and stuff, and it happened. Sweet. And I think Icarus vs. Captain Marvel is a pretty good lineup until like I saw that people were pointing out that Captain Marvel can like go through a sun, and Icarus, he fucking killed himself by flying into a sun, so that doesn't really make any sense, but still cool either way. Kate Bishop's death, the arrow, like the surprise confetti arrow, I kind of knew something was coming, like the way they set that thing up, like, oh my god, this is a trick arrow. I finally have a trick arrow. It's gonna save me. It's gonna be the greatest thing. I was like, oh god, what's gonna happen with this? And she dies. And so does Riri. Sort of. I don't know. We'll get back to that later. So we have Blade as the new Moon Knight. I saw like the developers of the show say that they thought that Blade in the MC would have been introduced ages ago by the time this project comes out. Fair enough, considering the amount of delay that Blade has gotten and the fact that it's probably never gonna come out. Overall, I think he was alright. I don't know, man. They try to make him like the cool character. To me, it was like surface level aura, you know? Like manufactured aura. There you go. Like, oh, Blade is cool, Moon Knight is cool. Put them together and make him like kind of quiet and stuff and use swords and shit. Yeah, that's a cool character. But he was alright. I was a bit confused at some point where Red Guardian gets bit, but he doesn't turn. I was like, what? What's happening? That's a minor thing. I don't know, maybe I missed something. Alright, Blade vs. Ghost was cool. I don't really remember the scene I'm talking about there, but I'm assuming they had a fight scene. So yeah, there you go. I watched this over the span of like a few days, by the way. Alright, episode 2, the Shang-Chi opener, the one take, or the one-er. It wasn't really a one take because it's animation, but still pretty crazy. But in this action scene specifically, I saw a lot of like animation faults, like a lot of like jittery animation that just didn't flow well. it is what it is. It's a very hard shot to complete, considering how long it is. I wrote Wenwu, the Mandarin, got that aura. And then next point I wrote, what the F, never mind, that death sucked. Because it did suck. Like, what the hell? How are you gonna kill off the Mandarin like that? It's crazy. And then, like, they fast forward to Shang-Chi, Aquafina, and who's that agent? Is it Jimmy? Jimmy's not, I don't know. But, like, they're, like, Mad Max style in the desert. I was like, what the fuck am I watching, bro? Like, just... And then we have the raft, led by Zemo and John Walker. I didn't even recognize it was John Walker until someone said John. I was like, what? And then we got Shang-Chi and Yelena, like hints of something going on there. Hey, yo. Get it, brother. Doesn't really matter because she dies later anyway, but still. I knew, like, as soon as the raft went on the water, I was like, fuck, the Talokan is gonna appear, like, MCU's Atlantis. And it did. And I was like, well, they're fucked. Namor. I don't even know how Namor could get infected. I wish there was, like, more heroes that weren't infected. It is what it is. And Zombie Namor was pretty cool. Can't lie. And then when Namor is chasing the gang, he tears through, a couple of, like, no-names, like, Sandra, Denise, and they're like, oh my god, Sandra, no, Denise. I'm like, who the fuck were they? I was so confused, like, why they were even in the group. It's like that one guy in the Suicide Squad, Marvin, and they're like, who was that? And Polka Dot Man's like, that was Marvin, he was the bus guy. That's exactly how I felt. I was like, who the fuck were they? I didn't even know. And then Miss Marvel kills Namor. Sure, whatever, I'll accept it. Also, Yelena is so tall in this. And I also wrote, I didn't feel her death at all. Fair enough, we only knew her for like 20 minutes. Oh my god. What is with my sinuses? It's the fucking morning. Sorry guys, I really just can't talk. I need like tea or something to like clear my sinuses. Oh my god. Episode 3. Crazy opening scene. We finally pick up where we left off in the original What If episode. So it's like very reminiscent of Infinity War. Thor lands in and Rocket and Groot just get busted, bro. They get fucking eviscerated. And then we have Spidey going up against Thanos, zombie Thanos. I was like, this is pretty sick. He's doing pretty well, you know. And then Black Panther sacrifices himself and boom, the Infinity Stone energy is released into the air. I'm not exactly sure how that happened, like the Infinity Stone's breaking. Is it because of the vibranium or something? I have no idea, but I was like, okay. That just happened. We had Khonshu appearing before the new Asgard, and I was like, whoa, Khonshu. And for some reason, Valkyrie knows him. Valkyrie's not a god, so like I think it would make sense if that was Thor, but anyways, let's move on. So Thor is Harvey Dent, aka Two-Face. He is fucked up on one side, and he is just depressed, not fat. And then we get Thor versus Wanda. Thor's like, oh, I need to save these people. And sorry, I'm like basically just recapping, but I'm trying to like pick up my thoughts as we go along and what I was thinking. All right, episode 4, the last bit. Hulk, we have Infinity Hulk. I mean, it was pretty cool concept, you know? It was just like so weird how they just switched the objective of like the whole thing. Cause I know Nova Corps was like, oh, kill these guys or whatever. So they had to switch from that plan and like the plan wasn't working. But like the very last episode is like, oh, now we have to stop Wanda from getting Infinity Hulk. And we only had like one episode to think about that, so. At this point, I was questioning why the Aquafina character was still there. Yeah. Why? And as cool as Infinity Hulk was, I was just thinking, if he has the power of all the Infinity Stones, this should be like an easy wash. Like, why is he even bothering to punch? He could just... and everything will be gone. Then we have Giant, fucking Hope, and Janet, and Hank. There was this really one random bit where Valkyrie goes up the hand of, I think it was Janet, the arm of Janet, and it switches to 2D animation. Like she like crawls under the skin and kaboom. I was like, whoa, that was a random switch, but okay. And then Zombie Thor pulls up and he insta-deaths Blade, insta-kills him. I was like, oh, oop, okay. And then Wanda wins, sort of. And then I didn't really understand this link between Wanda and Miss Marvel. Again, maybe I wasn't paying attention, but yeah, I really don't know like what the personal connection was, but she was like, oh, take my hand, we can do this, blah, blah, blah. And then we see that the world is back to normal. Or is it? So as we find out, it's basically an illusion. And then Riri is still alive and she's like, oh my god, wake up, wake up, I've hacked into the frequency of this spell. I don't know how that works, but still. The reason why I said that I kind of like this ending is because it's kind of depressing, and I feel like Marvel Zombies should end on a depressing note. What can I say? I haven't read the original Marvel Zombies. I probably should. But yeah, it looks like they're setting up for a sequel. Honestly, I don't care if they do a sequel or not. I'm sure most people feel the same. Maybe it was because I've just been so busy lately, but it felt like a chore at some point. I was like, I'd rather be doing something else. But of course I like Marvel content. Like, I would never like not watch something like this, like, especially Marvel Zombies. Like, dude, I have to watch this. Overall, honestly, not as bad as I thought. Not as bad as I was expecting. I would just give it like a 5 out of 10, like average, completely average. And that's not a bad thing, FYI, because it's literally not bad. It's just average. Okay, I don't want to hear it. Spider-Man barely did anything, by the way. I was kind of disappointed by that, but I don't know. I feel like maybe on paper it would have read better as a screenplay or as like a comic. I don't know. I haven't really like thought about like how I would structure it better because I don't really care that much. Let me know what you guys think.